I've been looking forward to this. Hopefully you've been looking forward to this. We are here for XCOM 2 War of the Chosen Season 8, if you can believe it. We have a lot of new stuff in store. We need to figure out how to approach this campaign. And I do say we, collectively, because the team's cooked up a lot of stuff that I don't even know about. So we need to group together and figure out how to solve it. You can still submit characters for the next 2 weeks. Details are going to be in the appropriate Discord channels. We'll accept them up until August 3rd, after which they will be closed. So get them in if you haven't already. We're going to chat about some of the mods we're running here. If you want to skip ahead to the mission, feel free to do so. I'll have chapters for you, and you can skip around this video however you'd like. But I highly recommend listening so that you can understand what we're dealing with this campaign. If you have any questions about the mod list, soldier submissions, or anything for that matter, I should have you covered in the video description, but if all else fails, leave a comment and I will get back to you ASAP. Before we chat about some of the impactful mods that we're running this season, I wanted to give a huge thanks to the production team. Big shout outs to Fear, Deadput, Cloista, Rusty, Antares, and Boundier. These guys have helped me a lot with creating this specific mod list and managing it. It's been super nice. They're 10 out of 10 at answering all the questions I have in pretty quick fashion. And just in general on the Discord, they help a lot of people that are asking questions about XCOM mods. Big shout out to Fleet and Wolfson in advance. They're going to be tracking all sorts of cool stats this season as usual. We're going to be building in some cool stat sharing segments in this campaign. And we'll be sharing some fun stuff that those guys come up with. So I feel good. I feel good about it. I'm a stats nerd, I'm a numbers nerd, and I think a lot of you guys are as well. Big shout out to Shire MCT for his very rigorous testing of the mod list as a whole, checking for some balance issues, making some suggestions here and there. Really appreciate that. And last but definitely not least, a very special shout out to both Nee and Kex for the literal hundreds of hours that they spend pouring through soldier submissions. They read all the backstories, they look for gaps in each of these 7 armors that you guys are allowed to customize. Also want to shout out Falstro and Kaz for creating a Discord bot that really helped out Kex and Nee through this process. Please, 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 if you can do one thing for me, this is my one ask. From you watching. Show the production team some love in the comments. I literally couldn't make these campaigns as cool as they are without them. Now, before we dive in, let me share a few of the mod highlights for you. First up, Amalgamation. If you've never heard of this is going to totally change how soldier classes feel. I'm going to get more into some of these details when we do our first promotion at the end of today's mission. But essentially, it's a class pack of like 250 classes with mostly randomized perk trees. Each class is going to have some specializations and multiple weapon options, which will create what I hope is a huge amount of soldier variety that we've never seen in previous campaigns. Second, we wanted to align this campaign with the recent Enemy Within campaign thematically. So we brought back Mec Troopers in favor of Sparks. We've got gene modifications, and against my ultimate desires, we have turn-ending reloads. And, like, let me just say, in my testing, these turn-ending reloads, man, like, they are going to cause me some very significant problems, for sure. It's going to bite me when I least expect it. Third, we're using Requiem Legion for enemies. There are some other enemy mods in here as well, but this is the main one. If you guys have played with this mod, you might recognize some of these names. The dreaded Taipans, the murderous Mechtoids, the astonishing Archons, the amazing Andromelids. I don't know what those are like. I'm keeping them a secret. We're going to run into them and discover them together for the first time if you're watching. So, should be fun, and I'm sure our soldiers are going to get absolutely crushed by some of the enemies that Reshi has cooked up here. There's some other gameplay impacting mods from Reshi who makes all the Requiem Legion stuff. You can check those out in the mod list below. A couple of other honorable mentions here. We're running Covert Infiltration by Zymanic again. I don't know. I kind of can't play XCOM 2 without it, to be honest. Really makes the strategy layer a lot more alive and enjoyable. We've got a super slick UFOpedia bestiary mod by Rusty. We had this in the last campaign, but it's changed significantly. It is very, very useful now, and we'll get into that a little bit later on in today's video. And we've also got a bunch of other surprises for both you and for me. So let's buckle up here. Set the vibe. Lights off, headphones on, volume up. Let's begin, shall we? We're going to start on Legend difficulty, reduced beginner VO. And if you install the mod list, we've taken care of this for you. This is all going to be automatically selected. So there's 5 advanced options we're running. Not created equal. I just love some randomized soldiers. But it's just way more, it's way better for me. I just think this should be on by default. Golden Requiem alters the enemy spawning on main story missions. Scamper exhaustion. Reaction mechanics are disabled for 1 turn after scampering. Now, this is a mechanic introduced by the Requiem Legion mod. I haven't run into any of those enemies yet, which means I don't know exactly how the scamper and reaction mechanics work. However, we are going to find out together. Impermanent injury, wound, and Requiem traits. That's right, there's Requiem traits here. They can be removed in the infirmary. And busy skies, so we can do UFO raid chains as part of Covert Infiltration before an Avenger hunting UFO is encountered. So just some added flexibility there. But I think that's pretty much all we need to do. We're not going to be playing with Iron Man because we're running a ton of mods, and we'll be playing Honest Man. If you don't know what that means, soldiers will die. I don't reload, we just leave it. But if there's ever an issue that we need to solve by digging into the mods and testing things and running a few missions to test things out, that's why we do it, to make sure that the campaign can go on if we ever run into a mod issue. But let's buckle up. Oh, and lastly, we're going to uncheck the integrated downloadable content, uncheck this as well. Because we replace Sparks with Mec Troopers, there'll be no Sparks at all, so that's irrelevant. That being said, we want to uncheck this so that the rulers can be kind of roaming around and come up randomly. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Accessing the feed now. We're in. But I don't know for how long. You seeing this? Way too much security, even for Advent.
That's no ordinary gene therapy clinic. And we're telling the truth.
Or they're leading us into a trap. A really obvious trap. We'd need an army to march in there right now.
I've got a better idea. Outrider, this is Central. Go.
Timeline you placed upon us, mistakes are bound to happen.
It wasn't our fault. Please!
There's no need for any of this. I will do what you ask of me. I just need additional time.
Did you say something?
You're one of those. You must understand, I had no choice.
Outrider, report.
So, you do exist. Outrider to Avenger, I have visual confirmation.
Are you sure?
Reapers are always sure.
I'll take your word for it. Cover your tracks and get the hell out of there. They can't know we were here. Yet.
Understood. Now the real war begins.
Excitement continues to build as city centers across the globe prepare for the 20th anniversary anniversary of Unification Day.
Thousands line up at the site of the Great Accord, celebrating the formation of the Advent Coalition.
Keeping with their promise to humanity, 12 new gene therapy clinics will be opening in select cities by the end of the new year.
Despite the attempted attack by fringe elements, operations at the new facility in Paris thankfully remain unaffected.
In response to the unprovoked intrusion on the eve of our most beloved celebration, the speaker reaches out to us.
A small number of dissidents again repeat the mistakes of the old world.
Striking as we celebrate a benevolent savior who time and again offers only friendship and compassion.
Yet these trivial actions could never break the bond between humanity and the Elders.
Peacekeeping forces have already made several preemptive arrests of known collaborators. Advent again assures all citizens that today's celebrations will continue as planned.
Perfect.
The Advent administration reminds you to report all suspicious activity to your nearest PCD firm. Only together can we build a better tomorrow.
Approaching position. You were right. They've definitely got their hands full today.
Stay focused. Prep Gatecrasher.
60 seconds. Now.
Signal received. Loud and clear. Okay, Gatecrasher. Your turn.
It gets me every time. It really gets me every time. Very cool. Stoked that we're here, guys. Now, we're going to meet our first 6 soldiers. That's right. Gatecrasher with Covert Infiltration. Gives us 6 soldiers to start with. Now, we've beefed up the Gatecrasher mission specifically.
To establish their peaceful enclaves within the city centers. It's time we move in and show them the fight isn't over yet. We're deploying to hit a high-profile target, one that they won't be able to cover up so easily. Move to secure the target site and eliminate any hostile contacts in the area.
That is a very cool looking Gatecrasher prison. I am into it. So yes, we need to eliminate the hostiles, of which you're going to see some new ones even this early, yes. We need to rescue the 2 prisoners from their cells, and those prisoners are going to serve as our first scientist and our first engineer. So I love that about Covert Infiltration. We need to keep the prisoners alive, yes. Now I'm looking at our first 6 here. We've got some very, very cool looking soldiers. I'm trying to figure out, do we have, like, what's our starting faction? I see a cape there, which makes me lead maybe Skirmisher, but typically Skirmishers have a certain vibe about them that I'm not really nailing. She could maybe be a Templar with the eyes. I don't know. I would personally prefer Skirmisher. But let's see. Let me know if you guys would like to have a Sky Ranger design contest again. I think we could use it.
Menace 1-5, we have a confirmed
We got a Reaper start, ladies and gentlemen.
Eliminate all hostile contacts.
Lexi Stannis. Whoa. What the? Get out of there. It's sour grapes.
You must tell no one.
Hanging with the enemy. My God. Okay. Let's talk about this for a second. This is a sick Reaper, though. Oh, right off the bat, what a cool start. Ahmed Ghost Ghazi is our Reaper. Now, Reapers are great don't get me wrong. They're, the concealment benefits, the ability to reconceal once per mission, at least early on, is very helpful. The claymores can be very helpful, especially early on with that first pod that we run into. That's super great. Their kind of geoscape scanning ability isn't as strong in my opinion. You're scanning for intel, which is not something we generally need a ton of early on. The skirmishers, what I like about them tactically is you get to pull somebody out of like full cover with relatively high consistency. You get 2 actions. You get the grapple to pull yourself to better positions, so your mobility is huge, and you get to scan to build faster, which I think is a huge plus. The Templars, obviously with Rend, is very strong, especially against the sectoids. The mobility there is super good too, and then they get to scan for healing. So I don't know. I'm gonna take it. Obviously, here we are. Ahmed Ghost Ghazi is our opening Reaper, and we're gonna make good use of you. Hopefully, welcome to the squad. Next up, we have Timothy Zimler. I could see how we got the nickname. I love the look. I think that is so freaking cool. The gigantic beard, the nice hair, the tats, the kind of army vibe. Yeah, I'm digging it. And you have a trait here as well. Hunter of Chosen. Ooh, that is very nice. Love to see it. 64 aim, 4 health, not bad. We've got Zora Matcha Nom. I'm guessing the matcha is based on the green hair. That is a very cool look as well. Love having you. You're 5 health, 61 aim, not too shabby. For Asa Rapunzel Brewer or Brower, I'm going to assume Brower. Rapunzel with the hair, I got it. Yeah, that's a cool look too. Very, very nice. Very cool. Happy to have you. 61 aim, 4 health. We have Kitty Stickers Winter Swicks. Winter Swick? Try saying that 10 times fast. Kitty Stickers Winter Swick. Can't wait to read some of these backstories, man. 64 aim, 4 health. Welcome to the squad. And lastly, you can spot her from across the map, Sarah Sunset Stevens with the hair. That should be the nickname, the hair. The bright orange hazmat suit, very cool look as well. 5 health, very nice. 65 aim, very nice. So we have, in this starting squad, we have 3 soldiers with 5 health. The Reaper getting the extra aim buff there as well at 67. It's pretty sweet. Okay, guys, let's have a good campaign, shall we? Let's start scouting here. Let's get out of the wilderness and into the city. He is quick. Love that. Love that. Let's put you over here. Detection radius, almost nil with the Reapers, which is a super nice benefit. I didn't see any other traits, but something to keep in mind as we progress. Now, we did buff this, as I was saying, so we're going to see a lot more enemies than usual. We should see about 12 or 13 enemies in, I think, 3 or 4 or 5 pods. And you're going to see a bunch of enemies that are going to feel different, even this early. So I'm pumped to show you guys that. Also, on this top left portion of the screen, we will eventually get soldier headshots up there. Those happen on our first visit back to the base. And we also have something in the bottom left here for lifetime stats. So as these guys start to shoot and get kills and stuff, we can look at them individually and see what their stats are like, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's push up here. We do have a potential tower that we can put a couple people in and have full cover, which is really nice tactically. But if I don't find anybody to shoot at from here, then it doesn't really matter, does it? So let's see. We'll go here. Let's send Matcha out this way to see if we have any enemies on this side. I'm not going to go too ham here, but if we find some that are just... Oh, here we go. Okay. Now, that could be a group of 4 or 2 groups of 3. Let's put Rapunzel in the tower. Little nod to the fairy tale, if you will. And we'll put Sunset in here as well. And hope that these guys walk towards us. Come on now. Now, with this mod set, a couple of things to be noting, just from a camera control perspective. TNG gets you some additional zoom, so it is a group of 4. You can speed up animations and stuff with the plus and minus buttons on the numpad, which is pretty helpful sometimes. I want these guys to get a heck of a lot closer than this, so let's be patient. Let's bring Matcha into full. And depending here on where they go, we may need to move out of here. But I think for right now, we can just overwatch this. Ghost could scout a little bit for us. See if we get any additional information. Didn't get any there. All right, cool. Let's see what they do. We're in concealment. We're not going to take these overwatches. I'm going to be playing this mission pretty cautiously. Okay, they're coming for us. I feel like, realistically, they're going to continue down this way instead of going over there. But can I afford to not open on this? I have a shot from high ground, which I really like. My problem, or the problem, is going to be when they all scamper and take cover over here. That's going to be tough to deal with. That being said, another thing we should consider is that usually one of the officers is going to have loot. Do I want to blow that up? If I do this, man, we could just start with a major bang in this campaign. And if I blow this up, we're laughing. I think we got to do it. Now, I'm gonna keep Ghost here for now. We may get revealed when they scatter, but Ghost has really good aim, so I might want to take advantage of that. And I think what we'll do is we'll use somebody on low ground to shoot the Claymore. Looks like you're gonna have a visual from there. Then we could overwatch up top for any scatters. And then the guys down below we can use to maybe reposition, use grenades to finish people off, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and do this. Rapunzel, overwatching. Zimothy, overwatching. If I really wanted to get nasty, we could do that, but we're not going to do it. Toodles!
These guys make up the bulk of the Advent forces.
Finish them.
Their discipline is
Oh,
well-equipped, but
what a shot.
makes them predictable.
Come on. There we go. And we get the loot. Oh, he didn't even drop any. Pay attention to all this stuff being added over on this side here, okay? So, anytime we kill a new enemy, they're going to get added to this bestiary. And you might think, oh yeah, cool, bestiary. What's that going to do? Look at pictures and I can like rotate them. Yes, you can do that. But also, it has some very cool tactical benefits from a enemy tactics standpoint that you can learn about them. And I'll show you that at the end of this mission, hopefully. So yeah, I have a 77% there, which is pretty good. He's only half cover though. And I kind of feel like if I don't have to take a shot with my Reaper, I could save that, because the first Reaper shot doesn't break Shadow, which is really nice. Yes, I could re-enter Shadow after, but keeping as many of those in my pocket as possible are pretty sweet. Now these Advent Sentries, they're kind of nasty because they will shoot and then they get a free Overwatch. So yeah, good times. Come on. Oh boy. Well, our first shot technically landed, that Overwatch shot that we took. Oh, look, I've got an... Oh, this is... Okay. Now, what's kind of scary... I'm just previewing here. I'm trying to see if... I'm looking for the that green marker that shows me line of sight to my squad mates. I can also do something with this, previewing line of sight from here. It does look like they would see Rapunzel if they move over there, which I don't love, obviously. But I want to be in full cover, so I'm going to take this from up here. Our chances are going to be pretty good because of the high ground. 76. Let's go. Come on. Come on. The hair. She did it.
Not too shabby.
Oh, and you had the loot. Well, look at that. Little surprise right off the get-go.
All right.
Let's go ahead and grab that, eh, Ghost? That worked out nice. Advanced scope. Hello.
There's some good gear.
Kaboom. Okay. One group of 4 is gone. Now, if I had to guess, we're going to have some in and around the back of this place. We probably have some over here, too. I'm going to just scout it and see if we find anything. Nothing. This is such a cool map. Okay, there's our sectoid. And a grenadier and a sentry. Kind of scary.
They are stronger than ever, with an even greater psionic potential.
So, it's good that we found them. They're incredibly far away, obviously. The chances of them just walking to us are pretty freaking slim. So, we're going to start moving up, and then we can try and position for an overwatch. Now, I mentioned this in the intro, but we have to be on top of our reloads. Because we got to build that muscle memory that when you reload, it ends the turn, just like in Enemy Within. Is it necessary to reload when you have 3 ammo? No. Okay. No. But I think as much as I can just be on top of it, the better. Okay, I'm going to bring Ghost out here. Just to keep an eye on these guys. Now, if they start walking towards us, great. If they start walking over here, that's probably still okay. But maybe I don't even need to take that risk. Definitely. You can stay here and still keep an eye on them. And then we've got detection ranges for this. And I'm okay with that. So, who's our 5 healthers here? Sunset. Let's put you here. That's going to be about as close as we want to be with you. Matcha says this is safe. Even though it shows us sometimes, I'm a little hesitant.
Headed there now.
Just because sometimes the icons can be like those edge cases, you know? They can be a little bit sus. Let's Overwatch now.
Come get some. Count me in.
Yeah, the voices are sick. Good job, guys. So far, like, from what I've heard of from Nee and Kex, who handle all of the character submissions, like, we have some very, very interesting characters this year. Or this campaign, and I'm pumped about it. Here we go! What a shot! Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
I told you this was a bad idea.
Oh, we have a negative Nancy on the squad. We might get all 5 Overwatches here. Nice. Oh, we are. This is actually huge. Beautiful job. That's the scariest unit, in my opinion, on this opening map. That is the scariest unit because, yes, they have a ton of health, that's obvious. Their aim is 75, which is quite scary as well. But the main issue is that they can panic a soldier, and that has led to, in some of my testing, it's led to people getting panicked and then getting stuck in a spot and flanked and killed. Because there's so many enemies, right? Ooh, look at that. Very scary group there, too. Well, not actually that bad, but scary that it's another number. And I want to come in here for a flank on this guy, if I can. I can also flank from here. It doesn't look like I'm going to trigger that group, which is nice. Now, the sentries, they can shoot and they get a free Overwatch. The grenadiers at this level seem to all have flashbangs. So I assume that changes over time. Wow. The dodge graze, excellent. If you're wondering, we are using the enemy within rolls for hits. So that calculation works a little bit differently than the XCOM 2 stuff. But we've been using that for the last few campaigns, so... I think what we could do here... I'm looking for a shot where I can flank that sentry. Let's take it from here.
I see an elite unit.
That way I keep track on these and we can see detection for them. Oh my god, really? Thank god you don't reveal on that. Yikes, dudes. I really don't want to sit in half cover if I don't have to. Let's use Sunset for this. Looks like I could probably get there, but then I'm for sure going to trigger that group next turn. If I'm down here, there's a chance at least that I don't trigger them, depending on how they move. The hair strikes again.
You know that was good.
Love that.
Could use some ammo over here.
Now, I wonder if he's just going to be flashbanging this whole group here. It's entirely possible. I kind of want to come over here just so that I'm closer to the action next time, but... almost wonder, maybe I should do this. Love the glasses too, dude. Let's get the Grenadier exposed, and then we have 2 shots from down here. Rapunzel. Now we're talking.
As promised.
Love that. Love, love, love that. Now I can bring you in. We'll set up an Overwatch, see if that group walks into us. I'd love to get that loot, and I think I can just throw Reaper in there. Here we go. Now these little Advent drones, very annoying. Very annoying. I really want this. I am giving up a shot in order to do this. I'm not super stoked about it either because I could get detected if they start like shuffling down here. Okay. How do we want to do this? There's going to be at least one other group after this, so kind of want to keep some grenades together. I have a flank here. Now this drone, it's low damage, but he's got 2 armor, which is a real pain early on. Grenades do help with that. But where he's really annoying is he's got a stun, and that stun can lock you down for 2 turns, like 4 actions. Sure. Kind of rough. But let's go for the flank. Oh, I've got double flanks here. I didn't even see that. Okay, top priority right here. Come on. Hell yes, squad. This is sick. This is sick. Well, I mean, you've just been absolutely murking units right now. I feel like... well, I've got a couple of full cover spots here.
No problem, boss.
And if the drone is left alone, it might run. Wow. Didn't get the crit, unfortunately, but that's okay.
Great.
Bring Zimothy over. See if you can hit this at 74. Hell yeah, you can. Dudes.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. They're making it look easy. Okay, I'm going to tuck into this corner.
Yes.
Here's something we probably could not have done with relative safety if we didn't have a Reaper, so that's pretty cool. And this drone, unless we roll like maximum damage here, we're not going to be killing it.
Going in.
Okay. It's promising. We need 5. Oh!
Target eliminated. Running dry on ammo.
You guys, I'm feeling very good about this. I don't want to jinx anything because it is, you know, 20 minutes into the campaign, but this squad feels tight right now. This squad feels good. Okay. Let's scout.
This way.
Let's go, Ghost. There's another pod we need to find. Let's check the perimeters here. That's fine. All right. Let's move up.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see the ammo situation.
Sure.
Where this is really going to cause problems is on the timer missions.
On my way.
Now, we have modified the timers to be in line with
Whatever you say.
what the type of enemies are that we're going to be facing.
Ready to engage.
And still try to keep it so that they're impactful but not crippling, like if we left them as vanilla. Okay, we need full reloads on everybody here. These are the turns, like the in-between turns, where we really need to make sure that we're paying attention to that kind of stuff. Let's go high ground. One thing we could consider is trying to go hack these guys out. The reason we may want to do that is because we could get benefits if the hack is successful. That being said, the chances of the hack being successful, not super great. Is this purely a distance thing, or are there enemies there? I don't exactly want to find out, but let's just chill.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's head here.
This way. Moving to designated coordinates. Seems doable. Sure thing.
I'll just move you in to be with the group. I'm loving the different, like, color schemes that all of our soldiers have, too. Like, sometimes you'll get a group and they're kind of all military. Sometimes you get the group and they're all, like, in weird punk bands. But, I love the mix that we got going on. Okay, so no enemies are not there, which is nice.
Yeah.
Let's try and find them, though. I thought her name was Lexi Staines. It's not.
This way.
Okay. Well, this is both intriguing and scary.
Okay.
We can position here.
Okay.
That was a misclick, my bad.
I'm going.
First misclick of the campaign. Place your bets down below. Oh, hello, there we go. For when our first death will be. Nice thing is that, yeah, they are behind us. So we can actually, or they are behind the building. So I can get up here to high ground and try to have a more significant advantage.
On the move. Got it covered.
Now, I'm not hoping for death.
Going mobile.
But if I'm being honest, when I'm playing and we're absolutely stomping, you know how sometimes we'll just be on a roll, it's like there's been no threat for a while. Like, that to me is not super fun. But at the same token, like, you know, I like when there's a nice little balance of deaths that happen. Like, to me, that's the fun of the campaign, is like seeing people. Oh, we're teleporting. Okay. Okay. Now, we don't have eyes there. Okay, we technically do.
Yes.
All right. Keep your eye there. So this way I can move in.
Yeah.
Safely.
I'll find a way up. Position confirmed.
I'm going to use the term safely
No problem, boss.
pretty loosely here. All right, Overwatch, Overwatch, Overwatch. This probably doesn't matter, so whatever.
Best offense is defense.
Here we go, baby. Okay, I don't love that we just shot that floor out. Enemy wasn't anywhere near that floor. That's good. Rapunzel, crushing. I think MVP right now is probably Sunset, if I had to guess. Officer's weak and flanked. Some officer you are. And the other guy is in that corner. Okay, guys, this is a very, very clean Gatecrasher. Everybody should have promotions, but let's maybe share some love here. Zimothy, it's yours for the taking, buddy. Didn't crit. Okay, well, you had your chance. This is fine. We're just slightly judging you. How about you, Stickers? Didn't crit either, hey?
Enemy destroyed.
All right. We'll give kills to other people here, hopefully. This will not be a flank. I don't know if I'm going to have the visual from here. If I go look at the preview line of sight. I mean, it says we will. I believe the game. I could also give it to Ghost. Ghost didn't get any kills yet. Maybe that's what I should do. This is, of course, assuming that we're going to get 4 damage, because we might not. But the crit chance should be decent. Come on. Woo! That'll do, Ghosty. And you're revealed. So if you can't remember how that works, the first one is 0% chance, the second one is 50. Then I believe it's 80% if your 50 doesn't trigger. And if your 80 doesn't trigger, then it's 100% that you'll reveal on the one after that. So, guys, enemies are dead. What an awesome first mission. And not a scratch on us, which is rare. That is rare. Deception and Disorient. Is Deception... Yeah, you gain control. That's what I thought. We failed anyway, so no harm, no foul, right? No harm, no foul. That is a snazzy little science man. Flawless right off the bat, guys. That is the way to start the campaign. That is sick. Mission briefing. These photos will populate again when we go back to base, so stay tuned for that. Rapunzel with 3 kills, not MVP. 12 damage, 4 for 5, very nice. Stickers, 3 kills, 13 damage, 4 for 6. Sunset, okay, 2 kills. Why do I think she was crushing? I'm just biased. But 4 for 4 on accuracy, that's why. She doesn't miss any shots. She needs to be a sniper. Ghost, 1 kill, 7 damage, 1 for 2. Not the greatest on paper, but the intel provided was MVP worthy, okay? Zimothy, 1 kill, but 19 damage. See, that's the thing. The damage really carries a lot of weight in the MVP voting. So 19 damage, 4 for 4 as well. Love that. And Matcha, 1 kill, 3 for 5. Not the greatest first showing, but the explosions were cool. So that's excellent. If we go here, let's take a commemorative mission photo. Let's just randomize this. Try to get one where everyone's in there. Can we change the... background? No. Location, that's what we want to change. Oh yeah, rooftops. Rooftops. Oh yeah, okay. I don't hate it. Zimothy, my dude, of course. Look at these poses, man. Some of these poses are so freaking good. Zimothy again. Love it. Okay. Okay. Let's see. You know what? I like that. I like that very much. Let's go, guys. Honestly, what a great start. Very, very excited about that. When I was doing my testing, if I managed to activate 1 pod at a time, pretty high success rate there, but there was also times you activate 2 or 3 out of your control, and it just spirals, right? Because your guys can't hit anything, and it's kind of a nightmare. We got to take advantage of a lot of high ground stuff there. Played that pretty well, I think. Most damage, Dimothy. Most attacks, Matcha. Moved furthest. Makes sense. I think we need to have a Sky Ranger design competition, and I'll let you guys know when we do that. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. So that advanced scope, really nice. Delirium core here. Lexi Stannis. That is quite the look, Lexi. That is definitely something. That's our engineer. And Mateo Hernandez, our scientist. Hunter of the Chosen. Okay, this looks negative, but it's not. It's positive. Okay. We also have some other traits on the team in the barracks. So we'll let these opening cinematics play for research, engineering, and stuff, and then we'll get into a bunch of things that I want to show you, things that you guys have not seen before.
Impressive, isn't it? Capable of generating immense power, yet completely harmless to human life. If only the same could be said for the rest of the aliens' technology. Commander. Dr. Richard Teigen, Chief Science Officer. I am responsible for the entirety of our research here, as well as the procedure you so recently underwent. Welcome to my lab, such as it is. I'm not sure what Central may have told you, but we found something while removing you from the alien stasis suit. A device implanted directly in your occipital lobe. Had I access to the equipment available to me during my tenure at Advent, I would already know the precise nature of its function. However, given time and your approval, of course, Commander, I assure you, I will find out. Which brings to light an additional point. Though aspects of this facility are indeed impressive, I am but one man. Were you to direct additional support personnel and resources to me, I could substantially improve the speed of all our research. Farewell, Commander.
Okay, there's some crew screening here. Let me show you this stuff. This is just a nice little new cinematic here. All right, and what this shows is a little bit of information on some people at the base. So Officer Bradford here, you can read his whole backstory if you want. You can poke them to get them into different animations. It gives you stats, and you can see where this is going for some of our soldiers, right? This will be the screen that we look at when we're reading the bios for these guys. The VIPs don't have any bios. We've requested that, and that's cool. Lexi Stannis is here as our engineer. Mateo Sour Grapes Hernandez is our scientist. Very cool looking scientist. A little bit of background on Lily Shen here, which is pretty cool. And Richard Teigen as well. We've got some information there. This is just nice little flavor, right? So we can come in here once in a while, see how our scientists and engineers are doing. Very cool. Promotions are available down here, which is very, very handy. But let's start our research. We're going to start with modular weapons. We did get that scope.
That area of research to be among the more intriguing options available. We'll begin work immediately. I'll send word when a complete report is available.
Okay, engineering.
Okay, reworked your repulsors with some of the parts I salvaged from their old engine. Should fix that stabilization problem you had. Come on, Rover. It'll work. Commander! Getting our tech to talk to theirs is harder than you'd think. Lily Shen, Chief Engineer, at your service. You were probably expecting to see my father. In all that's happened, I'm guessing Central didn't tell you yet. He's gone. Dad gave everything he had to get us this far. This entire ship is his life's work. I know he would have loved to show you around the place himself. He used to talk about you a lot. You can be sure I'm ready to finish what he started. Might not look it But from here, I can fabricate pretty much anything you come up with. And with a little more help, well, you'd be amazed with what I can do. It was an honor to finally meet you, Commander.
Okay, so we can do crew screening here as well, but we don't really need to do that. Let's look at our facilities here. So we're unlocked right in the middle. That's not too shabby. 113 supplies over on this side. Let's start clearing that with Lexi. And here, now the resistance ring, yes, very good and necessary. I think based on a conversation I was having with Rusty before recording this episode, I was like, man, with Covert Infiltration, I feel like the build order should be a little bit different. And he was suggesting a training center first, which makes a lot of sense because you can spend that AP earlier and getting some perks unlocked that will help people. So we're gonna go training center, then probably resistance ring, then probably guerrilla tactics. Guerrilla tactics we don't need for squad size upgrades, but what it does help with is allows you to send additional soldiers on infiltrations without penalty. So that is the plan. Training center, baboom. Okay, done. Next, what's happening? What do we want to take here?
Incoming transmission.
Let's look at our soldiers, and we'll do some promotions here. Now, we were talking about the amalgamation, and there's a very good description that I want to share with you guys, and I'll try to explain that here. So 1 second. Okay, so let's bring up Rapunzel Brower here for a second. And let's look at this. So, you're going to be presented with these 4 different options, okay? The first one, this is their primary class. And the primary class, it defines the primary weapon for the unit. The second one is your secondary spec, which defines your first secondary weapon choice. And then the third tree, here being Sentinel, defines your optional secondary weapon, as well as gives you some support abilities. So when the classes are built, each class is generated by taking 1 primary, 1 secondary, and 1 tertiary, and then slapping them together. So when you math it out, it turns out a small number of primary, secondary, and tertiary specs into a whole bunch of classes, which is pretty freaking cool. Now, her aim is 61. At this early of a phase, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just thinking of like how to find a sniper here. Shotgun, grenade launcher. This is a sniper with a gremlin and a combat knife. This is pretty cool because you get some remote healing and stuff. That's pretty sweet. The combat knife, less because you kind of want to be far away, but unless you could also build them to be more of a run and gun type sniper. Straight up cannon with a grenade launcher and a gauntlet. So she's just an absolute beast. That could be sweet. And it's kind of like anti what her look is, if that makes sense. So I kind of like that vibe. Shadow support and executioner, so vector rifle plus grenade launcher or sawed-off shotgun. You're going to notice a lot of grenade launchers as secondaries, which helps us quite a bit. But I think we're going to make you into a gunner support heavy unit. And check this out. So now you get suppression right off the bat. You've got the heavy gun, which is a lot of damage, which is super sweet. We've got a grenade launcher, and if we want, we can use the gauntlet for rocket launchers or flamethrower kind of thing, which is pretty sweet. So if we take a look here, grenade launcher, we could go over to the gauntlet if we wanted. This will allow us to launch rockets or use flamethrowers, which is pretty massive. But we're gonna stick with the basic rocket launcher, or sorry, grenade launcher right now. So that's how these are gonna work. And every time we see these, we're gonna be seeing like different combos. So buckle up. All right, what do we want you to be? Your aim is 64. I kind of like this sniper rifle gunslinger combo for obvious reasons. I don't love the combat knife section, so we'd be relying on that tertiary tree for mainly support abilities and stuff. Infantry, gunslinger, heavy could be kind of cool. The infantry is the backbone of the resistance, carrying skirmish tactics without the need for specialized weaponry. Maverick here, a wildcard rifle user not beholden to any particular disciplines. Maverick carries a wide array of skills in combat with which to blindside the enemy. And then Assault Blade Master Sentinel. which is kind of neat too. The Sentinel, if I'm not mistaken, the first unlock is like double Overwatch potential, like 2 Overwatch shots. I think we're gonna build you infantry, gunslinger, heavy. So let's see what walk fire is. Take a highly accurate shot with plus 30 bonus to hit, but for half damage and really low crit. Uses 2 ammo, 1 turn cooldown. Interesting. Consumes 2 ammo. Requires a burst fire weapon. Ability will not be available when a shotgun or sniper rifle is equipped as a primary. Okay, interesting. Then we have the pistol, obviously, or heavy armaments. And I think in your situation, instead of this pistol, let's rock the gauntlet. Why not? Why not? I think if I go here, like, do these rockets fit into my, fit into this gauntlet? Maybe. I'm just reading the bottom here. It carries both a mini rocket launcher and a flamethrower. Rocket launcher carries 1 rocket initially and has a 3-tile. Okay, cool. So I don't need to throw this in. This is awesome. See, like, some of these classes I've never even gotten to experiment with, so this is going to be... Oh, I'm just so stoked to be doing this with you guys. Okay, Sunset. What do we want to do for you? You're a total badass out there. Oh, this is an interesting one. Sharpshooter, Combat Medic, Keeper. I do like that. That's a neat combo. Cannon and Gremlin here. Shotgun Grenade Launcher. Shotgun Gremlin Shield. Shield could be neat. She has 5 health as well. So she could be like our tank for right now. Let's do it. So we got the run and gun. We have aid protocol. And while shield wall is active, you cannot be critically hit. So the choice here is really, do we want to go shield or do we want to go gremlin? Right? So bestiary scan protocol is new. If the soldier also has scanning protocol, combat scanner, overdrive, then they can use this item to scan a unit and add it to the bestiary. I feel like in most situations you got to kill them anyways. I don't know how useful that is, but it is cool that we can do that. And then the ballistic shield, we get shield bash. So charge in melee range, bash an enemy, deals low damage but disorients. Shield guard provides low cover to allies, receives the benefits of low cover even when flanked. Hunker down with the shield, increase defense by 30, dodge by 50, and provides high cover to allies. Let's go with a little bit of a shield build. Hell yeah, dude. That's cool that it takes the color of the uniform and stuff too. Awesome. Okay. Next up, I do need a sniper here. You could be a 6 sniper, bro. Give me that. Give me a sniper. Didn't get a sniper now. Here we go. Maybe what I should have done is checked them all and then went back and made a choice, but it's fine. It's fine. Infantry, Blade Master, Sentinel. Assault Rifle, Sword. Assault Rifle, Gremlin, Holo Targeter, Combat Medic stuff here. With the Holo Targeter could be quite nice, actually. Maverick, Techspert, Sentinel. That seems really interesting. You get the Gremlin and the Sentinel thing. Let's try it. We're going to be experimenting a lot, all right? So the Mavericks look like they're going to start with Light 'em Up, which is really nice. You could get 2 shots. Haywire Protocol. I mean, it's not bad. I feel like oftentimes it's really hard to get a successful hack. But what's nice here is Sentinel, so you get 2 reaction shots. So he's just going to be shooting, which is awesome. And he does more damage to Chosen, which works out perfect. And I totally planned that. And then Zora Matcha Nom. Give me a sniper. Didn't get one. Ugh. Why am I like this? It's okay. People will be getting promotions pretty quickly out the gate here. Well, what do we want? I'm just trying to be... I just want to have a lot of variety here. So we could do something like the Bullpup with a grenade launcher with an arc thrower option. It's not bad. We have the Vector Rifle with a pistol or a sawed-off shotgun as well. And this gives us some more concealment to play with if our Reaper is not available. Yeah, I like it. And the gun, like, suits the vibe. We get the free med kit here with Corpseman. Nano med kit will be provided instead of the necessary research. Instead, if the necessary research has been completed. Okay, love it. And then the sawed-off shotgun is a ton of damage. But we have to be very close. Uses 1 action, does not end the turn, uses 1 ammo. Love it. Okay. That's our opening squad. Promotions done. Now we also have some other traits in here. So Hunter of Vipers here on Toxic, which is like, how fitting is that with the name? We've got strong throwing arm to throw grenades further with John Old Man Smith. He's got that old man strength. I love it. What else? We definitely want to go into some soldier biographies, but is there anything at base that I want to show you? Yes, we're going to show you this kind of stuff. So the enemy bestiary, you can see a list in here. If you click on it, it brings you out. Now, where this is really nice, yes, you can investigate the unit in combat with F1, but if you forget or you need a refresher on the enemies that we're facing, you can come in here and you can see a breakdown of their enemies on this side, which is really, really cool. You can go through them like this. The trooper, obviously, suppression. The officer marks a target. And you can see, like, Advent Captain M1, so this will keep track of the different levels of them too, which is nice. Advent Sentry, ready for anything where they get that free overwatch. They also have lower penalties to reaction fire than typical units, so it means their overwatches are more likely to hit. The Sectoid, Psi Reanimation, Mind Spin, Melee Vulnerability, we know this. The Grenadier launches the loaded grenade at the target area, so depending on what level they are, I think they carry different grenades. So I love this. I think this is super cool. But where this gets really nice, in my opinion, if I go enemy soldier screening. Oh, what is this? Oh, interesting. So we already have some dark VIPs loaded in here. Let's not look at that. That might be a minor spoilery. All right, let's meet our first 6 soldiers that were in the Gatecrasher mission. We're gonna start here with Rapunzel, and I'll direct your attention to the right-hand side. She is from the Netherlands, date of birth February 14th, 2014, Valentine's Day. Interesting that that's called out. Ask me why they call me Rapunzel. After you see my hair, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. Born a year before the invasion happened, she has little memory of it before the sky fell, as her grandmother used to say. She can barely remember where she was when it happened. She thinks she was at the grocery store, though, because she can remember begging for some candy. After the invasion, life for her consisted of moving from refugee camp to refugee camp as her parents tried to keep her safe. She had a brother, but she lost him during one of their escapes from an Advent patrol. She barely remembers him and only knew his name was Hal. We'll have to keep our eye out. He was a year old, so she never had a chance to know him. She remembers him always being demanding. Was he shot? No, but she remembers running from Advent where he slipped and fell down a hill and into a river. Dark. Was she supposed to be holding his hand? She was a child, so it was hard to remember. Was he lost in the torrent of the rapids? And it was the alien's fault? Or was it hers for letting him go? Didn't matter at the end of the day because he was gone. Her parents never talk about that day anymore. And she only has a toy bear keychain to remember him by. Oh, that's what's on the backpack. Oh, cool. That backpack is struggling with that grenade launcher, but we'll deal with it. Asa doesn't have an undying hatred for Advent, but she isn't a fan of what the aliens are doing. She doesn't trust them, but will work with them if needed. There's a fine line between being afraid and hate, and she seems to border on that line. While Asa doesn't understand why Advent invaded the planet, she also fears that there is more to it than she is seeing. If it were as simple as we need a place to live, then why offer so much help only to turn away so many in camps? Why is there a resistance if they're here to help? When she was approached by the resistance, Asa watched as others joined and wondered, why are we fighting? It didn't take long for her to understand why, as she saw friends killed and others taken. Where were they taken? She has no idea. Why were they fighting? Well, that she figured out when she realized that the refugee camps weren't always like this, and that the world was much brighter, but she just forgot. Now, as part of Xcom, she hopes to find answers, find out why the aliens are here and why they offer so much to humanity, and at the same time, give us nothing. With her long hair in braids down her back, soldiers often wonder how long it takes her to do her hair. She simply smiles and says, as long as it takes. She loves to sing and loves to read fantasy novels. She has been caught many times on the radio singing a tune or just humming. Asa knows, long hair or not, there is no prince climbing the tower that is in her mind. Trapped with her thoughts, she only knows she has to fight to have any chance of understanding the why of so many questions. Maybe Xcom can help her find her way. Very, very, very cool. What an awesome start. You know what I love? I love when people tie things into their backstory visually, like having this, the keychain thing. That's super cool. Obviously the hair is a nice touch too. But yeah, really awesome job. And happy to have Rapunzel around here. Okay, next up, we've got Kitty Stickers Winter Swick. Love this. This is such a cool look. Like, this is so rad. I love it. And that little gauntlet, it actually suits you. Okay, Catherine Winterswick, April 15th, 2000, from Colorado Springs, USA, used to be a teacher. Okay, why stickers? Let's find out. Since she could read at a very young age, all Kitty ever heard was what a smart little kid she was. Not that anything happened to contradict those sorts of statements. Straight A+ student, offers from Stanford to Columbia, and accepted into the United States Air Force Academy. Ever since she first heard the roar of the jet engines flying over her backyard, she dreamed of being up there with them. As she grew older, the roar of jet engines was replaced by the hum of firestorms, and the 4th of July air shows gradually played second fiddle to those on Unification Day, but her dream persevered. That is, till she got an A- on her AP History final. It didn't change much. Her grades were still good enough to attend the academy, but to Kitty, it broke her. She could handle growing up, the invasion, and the change of government, but this was the first time something changed that directly affected her. After she graduated and served her years, she wanted a life of security and familiarity. So she returned home, married her high school sweetheart, and taught 2nd grade at her old school. What had been a rewarding and comforting career, teaching bright young kids, seeing them laugh and smile as she gave out stickers for everyone's good work each day, that was now a memory. For the past 2 months, Kitty went to school, sat at her desk, and taught nobody. Advent civics training was supposed to only last a week, but her students weren't back. With no kids of her own, they filled the gap, and since her husband had left, they were the only family she could count on. She needed to bring them home. Initially, she went to the Advent administration office in her town, but the cold refusals made her think her questions weren't welcome. That same night, some Advent troopers came by her house looking for any information, and for Kitty. Her academy training was rusty at best, but the longer the struggle, the more she picked up. After she finished with the pair, she realized her students could be in genuine danger. She packed up her things and left home, going to find whatever Advent facility would give her information. The troopers were found with stickers on their helmets, grading their performances, and while Advent followed the sticker trail, Xcom found her first. Kitty was reluctant to join at first, thinking it to be nothing more than a distraction. The Xcom brass weren't too keen either, especially of what they thought to be a calling card left on covert operations. But that wasn't anything to Kitty. But another day at school. Her life had changed, but she didn't want to. Awesome, love that. Stickers, teacher, nice tie-in there, beautiful, well done. A little bit of a perfectionist here. So disappointed with that A-. That'll be interesting to see how this plays out. What's your accuracy so far? Do we have that somewhere? I don't see it. We'll have to look at her stats, see if she's missed anything. But yeah, very cool. Happy to have you. Welcome to the squad. Next up, we have Sarah Sunset Stevens. With the hair. Okay, Sarah Sunset Stevens, age 33, exact date of birth unknown. Suppose we could ask her, but maybe she doesn't remember. Sarah loved everything about being an EMT. It was her whole life, and she was married to the job. She loved helping people when they needed it most. Working solely the graveyard shift, there was never a shortage of those needing saved. She dyed her hair and often wore bright colors with a certain obsession with the color orange. Okay, there we go. She believed she was a light in the chaos of the dark. Typically, her day started with a beautiful sunset over the bay a few miles north of Sydney, Australia, and anticipation with what the night would bring. Her friends teasingly nicknamed her Sunset and thought she was a bit nuts for not waking up until the sun was coming down. Her life, with everyone else's, changed the day the aliens arrived. Though the invasion and fight was short, her life as an EMT would end forever when Advent took over all roles of emergency services in Sydney. Most people around her just went along, accepting this new piece at face value. Sarah's not the type of person to pretend, and she did not like being told she wasn't needed anymore. Why get rid of all those who worked all their lives to hone their craft in medical care? And why didn't more people question this? Her younger brother Sammy had joined the resistance, and with the bits of contact she had with him, she knew peace was the last thing these invaders were interested in. Sarah followed in her brother's footsteps and joined the resistance, an inner fire to help expose this enemy and wake everyone to the threat that lurked behind the curtain. Her innate skills with a gun came to everyone's surprise, especially hers. Sarah quickly became a squad leader with her ability to make split-second decisions and keep her people safe. For years, they enjoyed moderate success and even managed to capture an Advent patrol to interrogate on their last mission. Unfortunately, this brought the aliens right to their doorstep. The enemy had managed to track their captive's location. Being held at the Resistance base of operations, the raid was quick and deadly. The screams of her friends and squad mates would live on in her nightmares. Most fell within an hour. A few were captured, Sarah included. She thought it was over. Everything she had fought for was going to end this day, but as almost an answer to a prayer, Xcom showed up, attacking the facility Sarah was being held at. The display of efficiency and professionalism the soldiers put on left an impression on her that she would never forget. She could be better. She must. Unfortunately, she was the only civilian survivor. But do not tell Sarah her brother is lost. She is determined to find him. Determined to put an end to this invasion once and for all. It's time for the aliens to see their last sunset. Suit up, soldier. You are with Xcom now. Very cool. So her brother's name, Sammy. We'll have to keep an eye out. Very interesting to see if that comes to play. Great look, cool design, good tie-ins. Awesome, happy to have you. Sunset, you're gonna do great things. Okay, our Reaper, Ahmed Ghost Ghazi. Let's see what you got going on. So you are from Egypt, born January 1997. In the dimly lit streets of Cairo, amidst the echoes of ancient history, Ahmed Ghazi was born into a world of shadows and secrets. I assume that's world. His childhood was a mosaic of hardship and survival, a testament to the resilience that would define his future. At an early age, Ahmed's father, a former Egyptian Special Forces operative, recognized his son's exceptional intuition and marksmanship skills. He became Ahmed's mentor, honing his natural talents in the ways of the sniper. Under the cover of night, father and son would slip through the city like phantoms, training in the art of precision and stealth. As years passed, Ahmed's reputation as a sharpshooter grew. He earned the nickname Ghost for his ability to vanish without a trace after a mission, leaving the echoes of silence shots in his wake. His services became sought after by governments, intelligence agencies, and private contractors alike. But Ghost's true calling emerged when a global terrorist organization known as the Obsidian Serpent, don't understand the reference, very interesting, began to spread chaos and fear across continents. Their reach extended into the darkest corners of the world, leaving destruction in their wake. The international community turned to Ghost, hoping he could put an end to the Serpent's reign of terror. Ahmed, with a custom-made rifle meticulously crafted for maximum accuracy and stealth, Ghost embarked on a relentless pursuit. He traveled from the urban sprawls of the Middle East to the remote deserts of North Africa, tracking down the elusive leaders of the Obsidian Serpent. Each mission was... Where are we? My bad. Each mission was a deadly dance, a calculated ballet of patience and precision. Along the way, Ghost encountered allies who shared his mission to dismantle the Serpent. Notice the tattoo as well. Interesting. Among them was Sofia Viper Ivanova, a former MI6 agent with a knack for intelligence gathering and infiltration. Together, they formed a lethal duo, combining their unique skills to outwit and outmaneuver their adversaries. As the hunt intensified, Ghost uncovered a web of betrayal and corruption that reached deep into the heart of governments and power structures. The lines between friend and foe blurred, forcing Ghost to navigate a treacherous landscape of deceit. With every mission, Ghost inched closer to the heart of the Serpent's operations. His pursuit became a personal vendetta, fueled by the memory of innocent lives lost to their malevolence. Each shot fired was a symphony of vengeance, a requiem for the fallen. Nice tie-in with the mod, nice. Requiem, yep, cool. In the final climactic showdown, Ghost confronted the Serpent's enigmatic leader in a hidden oasis in the Sahara. The battle that ensued was a symphony of violence and redemption, culminating in a single faithful shot that ended the reign of terror. With the Obsidian Serpent extinguished, Ghost vanished once more into the shadows, leaving behind a legacy of legend and mystery. His name would be whispered in hushed tones among those who knew of his deeds, a phantom of justice who emerged from the darkness to protect the world. I love it. I'm stoked on having Ghost here. I think that is very, very cool. Good look, too. Great backstory. What was the other name in here? Sofia Viper Ivanova? If I'm looking here... Okay, we don't have that soldier. We had I thought I saw a Sophia, but this is not the one. So we'll have to keep an eye out. We'll keep an eye out for sure. Okay, next up we have Timothy Zimler. I love this guy. This is a cool vibe. He's our Maverick soldier. From the US, September 19th, 1992. Tim, or as his friends call him, Zimothy, grew up in a small town in Kansas. He went to college for chemistry, but at age 22, he met the love of his life, Karina, at college, after they were both wearing the same green t-shirt at a social gathering. Their shared dream was to leave the United States and go do NGO work overseas, so they got married and worked jobs for a few years in the States, preparing to go overseas. They found a fantastic opportunity working with Somali refugees in Africa. They sold most of their stuff and moved near the refugee camp, working for a small NGO. They ran projects like taking refugee kids rock climbing, teaching them to overcome fear, and to work as a team to conquer the mountain. Zimothy would assist in rock climbing and managing finances, while Karina would write grants and manage the NGO's social media. They both also spent hours upon hours learning the Somali to understand the culture and form genuine friendships with the people they were serving, to better understand how to help them with respect and dignity. One day, while out scouting a new climbing site with their lead climbing instructor, Mike, a damaged alien spaceship, landed near them. Oh, the instructor's name was Mike. I got it. Debris from the ship cut Mike's safety line and he plummeted to his death. Zimothy, horrified, got as much of the gear as he could off the mountain and drove home. He remembers the day by the blue rope that Mike was attached to before he plunged into the abyss. As the world began to fall apart, the government of the host nation signed a deal with the aliens, and part of that deal was to remove the refugees by any means necessary. The aliens attacked the refugee camp. Zimothy and Karina were separated in the attack, and it haunts Zimothy to this day. He remembers the death and destruction by vivid memories of the red clay homes being score-marked with alien weapons. In the years that followed, Zimothy continued to search for Karina, still wearing his wedding ring in hopes that she is alive and maintaining a wardrobe of the following colors: green, their color together, blue to remember Mike, and red to remember what the aliens are capable of. Oh, cool. Does he have a ring? He sure freaking does. Man, I love this game and the mods that keep it alive. That is insane. While mild-mannered, he has come to realize that if the world is to be restored, he will have to kill. He hasn't found Karina in any resistance camps yet, but he holds out hope that he can find her. Hope that maybe the resistance in Xcom can make the world right. So maybe Karina is a VIP or something. We'll have to keep our eye out for that. Really stoked to have you here. I love like the glasses, beard look. That's so cool. Hopefully we get a lot of use out of this Maverick. Next up, we have Zora Matcha Nom, and I think that's our last one here for right now. Zora Matcha Nom. Cool look too with the cyberpunk shirt. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, this is like Baby Reaper. This is cool. Okay. XCOM personnel interview, Matcha. Interviewer and Matcha. I love stuff like this. Okay. Interviewer. Hey there. Good to see you found our little spot, all right. I'm gonna just ask some questions and you have to answer them. The camera's recording over there. Yeah, I found it just fine. Not the first cramped place I've been to. Had plenty of that in the lower city back home. Cool interior, though. Right. First question. Your name is Zora Nom, correct? Yep, that's Nom. Said like gnome. Oh. Okay. Kind of like Nom, but gnome is great. Don't ask. I don't know where it's from. Well, where were you born? Somewhere in Asia, maybe? No idea, honestly. My parents never really talked about it. I grew up in Denver after they rebuilt most of the city. Yes, I've seen reports about their Advent City Center life growing up. Yes and no. I did live in the Denver City Center, but I was in the gritty, nasty part of town. I guess they were the slums. But those are usually pretty short, right? The slums were there all in between the skyscrapers. What would you say your combat experience is like? Well, I did a lot of smaller jobs for some gangs before moving up to taking bigger ones for more professional types. Mostly it was hit and run stuff, snatch the ticket item, run like hell. Plenty of shooting though. Had one job where I lost 3 fingers and another where some shrapnel got in my eyes. Oh, that explains the eyes. And if we're looking at her fingers here, I'm guessing that's this glove. This is like Maybe there's some type of bionic replacement under there. 3 fingers, but it looks like you still have all your fingers. Okay, I see. I'm a little ahead. Yes, sirree, my previous employers had a lot of cybernetics tech at their disposal, so this wasn't too hard for them. Same with the eyes. Now I see super high resolution, but that's about it as far as neat tricks go. I see. Who is this group that gave you those? Just some odd group that had access to old world databanks and new world tech. They never told me their name because of confidentiality. Yeah, right. No pointers, huh? Like I said, they never told me, but they had a logo. Looked a bit like an eye, same as on my jacket. Okay. Interesting. How'd you find out about Xcom? Well, I got curious from all the stuff I found in their databanks. Might have originally been you guys that got co-opted. It had some more recent reports of resistance activity in the area and possible leads, so I hit up one of the leads, and now here I am. Had to make sure to tell AZ I was leaving, though. AZ? This hybrid girl my employers had me keeping an eye on. Very artsy, a lot of tattoos, crazy murals. She's a little accident prone, and we didn't want to have to clone her a second time. Boy, was she mad when she lost her ink the first time. Second time? Can't tell, sorry. AZ maybe it's Az. Az maybe pinky promise not to say anything about the first time. We'll have to follow up on that a little bit more later, but for now, I'm saying you're clear to roll with us. Sweet. You guys won't regret having me around. Interview concluded. Yeah, sick. I love like a different style of biography like that. Welcome to the squad. You're going to be unforgettable. Zora, Matcha, Gnome. We gotcha. Happy to have you. Okay, so what we're going to do, similar to how we did the Enemy Within campaigns, we will introduce soldiers as they get used. So we're going to have a lot of stuff to do in Covert Infiltration here. So we're going to start doing some of that. And when that's done, and we throw people in, we'll introduce them.
Good to see you on your feet again. Welcome to the bridge, the nerve center of our operation. The aliens have our entire world in their grip. Advent controls everything. Government, communications, industry, not to mention the military. And it's on us to take it all back. Resources and time are tight, Commander. It'll be up to you to decide how to best use both. The ship is yours.
Thank you, Bradford. Appreciate that. Now, one of the changes that we've made is that previously we would have what we affectionately refer to as covert op bots. Some people inevitably just spend time doing covert actions and not seeing a lot of mission time. And there's both a pro and a con to that. But previously it was set up where you get stat buffs for covert actions. Now, soldiers are going to get experience instead of stat buffs. So near the end game, if we have, Colonel snipers, we would just send them on covert action after covert action to buff their stats. And now this should allow for people to get slightly more promotions. The XP granted is very small. I think it's like 1 per covert action. So it really will help the newer recruits, not so much the older ones or the higher ranking ones. So we have a destroyed convoy over here, 7 days for supplies. That's not bad.
We may have chosen a different means of resistance, but our people fight for the same reason, for the world we once knew. Together we will end this occupation, or die trying. My people have thrown off the shackles of alien oppression, and through discipline, we have survived. We don't rely on the aliens' technology, and we would never live in their cities. We are the hunters. We move in the shadows. And we won't sleep until the last alien is dead at our feet.
Love the vibe, Volk. Okay, so we have heavy equipment and infiltrate for faction orders. Covert actions available on the ring now. The black market, which would be great. Breakthrough research, might be great. Experimental item, maybe. Inform soldier bonds, we'll see. So first of all, let's start with these because we're gonna be sending people out here pretty regularly. We can get the Templars now. We cannot get skirmishers until we get a sergeant. That hurts me on the inside a little bit. I love the skirmishers a lot, but it's fine. We will send 2 soldiers to go and locate the Templars. We also have the black market. I need 2 soldiers for that. We have breakthrough research for improved pistols. That's actually not a terrible idea. There's a lot of classes here that have a secondary pistol, and I feel like that would be a decent one to snag. Experimental item here could be one of these things. That's a lot of things. Probably not a bad idea. I do have to put some supplies forward that I don't have. So maybe if we do the scan first. I definitely just don't want a soldier captured right out of the gate. Like we don't want that. So we'll probably do that scan for supplies and then come back and grab this. And then the soldier cohesion thing. I mean, we could technically send the 2 that we have bonded. Do we not have a bond? Or am I crazy? Let's look. Maybe I don't have a bond. Yeah, okay, we don't have any bonds. For some reason, I misremembered. I guess we don't have any. That's fine. I don't think we'll do that scan then, for now. So let's get out here and let's start assigning people to these. If you've never seen Covert Infiltration, this is, might be a bit overwhelming, but it is very, very awesome. Okay, so the 2 soldiers that we're gonna send out here, I think I might just do this in order. We could get picky and send like, you know, people with certain amounts of health. Some people have like extra armor and stuff. Like we could do that, but I think we'll just send them in order. So first up, we'll send Toxic. Oh, this is the person that I was thinking of with the Viper comment. Sophia, the sister or the relative, and having a thing about Vipers. Anyways, this is the guy I was thinking about. Okay, so we'll send Toxic. And we're going to send Aptitude. I think this is cool. So Sato, Toxic, and Aptitude, we're gonna send you guys out. It's gonna take 15 days. It's a little bit of time, but that's okay because we're gonna get a Templar and that will help pretty substantially. So get out there, have a good trip. See you soon. We'll have to wait for a sergeant there. We definitely want to uncover the black market. So let me assign all these soldiers and then we'll read their bios. Okay, that's how we'll handle this. So uncover the black market. Who's gonna go to this? We're gonna send our next rookie, Dev Jerson here. And we're going to send Rex Lilman Marshall. Get out there, very cool looks. Both of you, love it. I love it. Frick yeah, this is awesome. Long one though, 22 days. See you guys in 3 weeks.
Covert is our specialty.
Toodles.
Let's just hope your people can keep up.
Now I could put, you have to put a scientist in here, hey? I think that's okay. I think we can put a scientist right now. All of our research times are very low as it is, so I'm not too concerned about that. But let's set this up. And we will send Molly Geographer Bream. Our scientist is Mateo Hernandez. And here we will send John Oldman Smith. Get out there. This is just to negate the soldier wound, so they're going to come back and be available right away. But I think it's worth it. It's only 1 extra day of infiltration time, so let's send them. And plus, they get a promotion out of this, right? So I'm happy to do it.
We'll get the job done.
Okay, we're gonna wait till we get supplies, and we're gonna wait on the soldier bond as well. Okay, so we want to send people to the scanning site. However, let's go and catch up with these guys. If you want to see the whole roster, this is the roster of everybody that's made it so far. So we've got, do we sort by this? If I sort by HQ order, that's the order they were added to the base. I'm not sure why that's different when you're selecting them in the other screen, because maybe these 2 should have went, but it's all good, whatever. So the other names in here, Faith Acrobat Lee, Ain Cookie Alto, Jan Melk Ku, Elliot Boatman Tebia, and Blanca Duchess Mizaros. Now, if we get into recruiting soldiers, the way we have this set up is that we're only going to get presented with 2, okay? Once we hire one, then that slot will get replaced. So our choices, like, this is actually a great one to look at because this soldier, slightly better aim, but only 4 health, versus slightly worse aim, but 5 health. I'd probably lean towards Clim or Climb in this instance, but yeah, we'll see when we need to recruit somebody. Okay, let's get back into here and let's find our next one. So Toxic. On covert action, that's helpful, so we'll know we won't forget anybody. Okay, Toxic is here. Very cool look as well. With the gas mask, the shiny leather is very nice. Whoever designed that, that's sick. Okay. When people hear the word doctor, they think of someone who saves lives. I observe life as it withers and dies. Okay, Toxic, let's go. Yu's childhood was marked by isolation and fascination with the macabre. She displayed an early aptitude for science, excelling in chemistry and biology. However, she was always an outsider, struggling to connect with her peers and finding social interaction a chore. This isolation fueled her fascination with the dark side of biology, toxins, poisons, and the potential for death. After graduating top of her class at the University of New Tokyo, Yu was recruited by Advent to contribute to their bioweapons research program. She thrived in their research facilities, reveling in the vast resources and the opportunity to push her skills to the limit. Her increasing interest in alien physiology, her unorthodox research methods, and her willingness to defy orders eventually raised red flags with Advent. They deemed her a threat to their alien masters and attempted to eliminate her in a staged accident at her laboratory. When security forces came for her life, they instead found themselves as test subjects in her most recent experiments. Yu meticulously crafted her defection, using her knowledge of Advent's protocols to forge documents and disappear without trace. She contacted Xcom through a coded message, offering her services and knowledge in exchange for protection. Joining Xcom was an act that was less a change of heart and more a strategic decision. She saw it as a more efficient path to her ultimate goal, studying the aliens, weaponizing their biology, and using that power to ultimately surpass them. What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield? Yu is driven by a chilling philosophy. Humanity's survival hinges on its evolution, an evolution forged in the fires of conflict. She sees the alien occupation as a crucible, a necessary catalyst for humanity to transcend its current state. Her mission is to win the war, even if it means sacrificing everything and everyone in her path. Her single-minded devotion, however, masks a deeper, more personal motivation. She has a deep-seated fear of being controlled, of becoming subservient. Her drive to win, to be the one who survives, is fueled by a desire to prove her own agency, to demonstrate that she is more than a mere pawn in a larger game. Her nickname Toxic is not just a moniker, it's a reflection of her true nature. She's a badass, you guys. We must protect her at all costs. That's so cool. Very incredible write-up as well. Like, just very creative, very well written, easy to follow. Love that. Happy to have you here on the squad. Next, we've got John Oldman Smith. And I love that he's got the, like, baseball pitcher trait, because he's just this old school, probably American dude. If I had to guess. Yeah, he's American. Oh yeah. Okay, let's go. Eyes only dossier, hand delivered to Bradford. Now, John Smith, I wonder if this is just a replacement name, or if this is how he was born. April 15th, 32. Okay, he's old. Definitely. United States Military Academy, West Point, 50 to 54. Bachelor's of Science, Lieutenant, 2nd grade. Expertise, systems engineering, nuclear engineering, Illyrium engineering. Nice. Service history. Inspired by the newsreels of the end of World War II, John focuses learning on engineering and nuclear systems. After graduation, he was assigned to the Department of Defense's Research and Development Division. In 1962, John was headhunted by the Bureau for his outstanding work on exotic power systems. He was assigned to the labs under Dr. Weir to help analyze the alien technology. After the Carter incident that was resolved and the Bureau faded into obscurity, John was part of a hand-picked team formed by Dr. Weir to safeguard the alien technology for future research in a secure hidden facility. Now, side note, it's been a long time since I played the Bureau, but I wonder if Dr. Weir is in that. I don't recall. Over the years, the facility was considered long abandoned and forgotten. In 2015, when the invasion reactivated the Xcom project, the US military investigated the abandoned outpost and was surprised that John was still guarding the technology. John was then assigned as a liaison to Dr. Vallon's department to continue his work on the alien technologies. John assisted the good doctor until the fall of Xcom. After losing so many friends again and again, John decided the only way to safeguard humanity was to pick up arms rather than doing research. Since then, John's been working as a rogue operative, feeding information and technology to the Resistance for years. We have some notes from Tygan here. After a thorough physical examination, it is my expert opinion that while this man is easily 4 times the age of any other operative, his capabilities are that of a man in his 40s. Okay. My current theory is long exposure to experimental Illyrium-based technology has somehow altered the fundamental makeup of this man's body. Yeah. Because he's over 100 years old. We love that. We love that. Welcome to the squad. Also, nice pants. Very nice pants. Rex Little Man Marshall. He's on a covert action as well. He's from Belgium. This is a cool look too. You guys have done just a freaking awesome job. Like I'm honestly gushing at all the soldiers we're seeing so far. This is so cool. Date of birth September 5th, 2017. Slightly younger than Old Man Smith. Growing up in one of the Advent city centers as the only child of a government official, Rex had the classic rich kid upbringing, minus the uncaring parents. Rex loved and admired both his parents, especially his father. As a little boy, Rex would be in his father's shadow, taking phone calls, carrying around a tiny briefcase, and just being a little man. Oh no, I see where this is going. Sadly, Rex's life turned for the worse when his mother began to experience several medical issues, such as extreme fatigue, dizziness, and muscle spasms. Months passed before she received the diagnosis of multiple sclerosis, MS. There was little discussion on what to do. The gene therapy clinics were curing the previously incurable and seemed to be his mother's best bet. Rex had no idea that he'd be seeing his mother for the last time after dropping her off at the clinic. Visitation was denied, but he and his father received daily updates, then weekly, and then monthly. Eventually, the updates stopped altogether as she had been transferred to a different facility out of the country. Rex did not take this news well, and pushed his father to get more information using his connections. Classified was all his father got. So Rex decided to do his own investigation, discovering hundreds of missing persons reported all related due to the gene therapy clinics. He brought the evidence to his father, but rather than believe him, his father labeled him a terrorist and betrayed him to the peacekeepers. Whoa! While in transit after his arrest, he and the rest of his fellow terrorists were freed by the Resistance hijacking the vehicle. They reassured his theories, gave him a place to stay, and sparked within him the determination to fight for this planet, to fight for his mother. Love a good vengeance tale. Love it. Happy to have you here, little man. And we're going to try our best to keep you around for as long as possible. Next up, we've got Molly, Geographer, Bream, and again, making good use of these new jackets. Matching helmet there. That's pretty cool. Very curious about the Ugg boots that you're wearing. Perhaps we'll find out. Molly Geographer Bream from the UK. Molly Bream, known by her comrades as Geographer, grew up in the windswept countryside of Wolverhampton, England. From an early age, she developed a profound connection with the land, spending her time exploring the rolling hills, dense forests, and rugged coastlines of her homeland. Her fascination with the natural environment was matched by her ability to move and blend in with her surroundings. This knowledge, combined with her skills, earned her the nickname Geographer that followed her throughout life. Bream pursued her passion academically, earning an MSc in geography with her research focusing on cartography and topological analysis. Her skills with maps and navigation made her an invaluable asset in various expeditions she's led at the British Antarctic Survey. However, her life took a drastic turn when the Advent Coalition seized control of Earth. At the time, Molly was at the Halley Research Station. She could do nothing but witness the devastation of her country and the oppression of its people. Bream vowed vengeance against the invaders. With her colleagues in tow, she set sail on an icebreaker back to the mainland. She joined the resistance movement and quickly distinguished herself with her uncanny ability to navigate and scout enemy territory. Her intimate knowledge of terrain and her strategic use of the environment in combat made her a natural fit for Xcom. Whilst Bream prefers the quiet approach, when necessary, she will use any means for victory. She moves quickly with a blend of ferocity and precision born from her belief in the cause, turning the very landscape against her foes. Molly's tactical prowess and her ability to lead her squad through treacherous terrain earned her a place in the elite Xcom unit. Despite the chaos of war, she maintains her love of geography, often seen meticulously updating maps and planning missions with an eye for terrain advantages. Love it. Her quiet determination and unwavering loyalty to her team inspire those around her, making her a cornerstone of Xcom's fight against the alien occupation. When not on a mission, Molly spends her time teaching her comrades about the importance of understanding their environment, ensuring that every soldier under her command can navigate and survive in the harshest conditions. Her deep respect for the land and her relentless pursuit of freedom from Earth makes her the true embodiment of the Xcom spirit. Quote, "The land speaks to those who listen. It tells you where to tread, where to hide, and where to strike. In this war, knowledge of our world is our greatest weapon." Love it. Love the tie-in. Plus, like, geography with the green. That's pretty cool. I'm interested to see what you do for your future armor sets. That'll be fun. Next, we've got Vera Aptitude Akimova. Now, this is a more classic XCOM look, believe it or not. Happy to have you here. From Russia, October 8th, 2010. Born to a loving family in the Russian city of Arkhangelsk, butchering that, I'm sure, Vera and her parents lived a simple life before the invasion. Her mother was a dancer, her father a nuclear engineer with decorated service. On the day of the invasion, that world broke apart. The alien bombardment had focused on the naval base and power plant in the city, nuclear submarines, a nuclear power plant. The damage and the shock of the invasion forestalled any efficient or thorough response, and suddenly the country was faced with the worst nuclear disaster in history. Vera's father, an expert with such machinery, was called to help contain the disaster along with thousands of other men. Years of work, during which time her mother fell ill and later died. Ultimately, the disaster was finally contained, but her home would be inhospitable to life for many long years to come. Vera's father became ill shortly into her teenage years. The young girl quickly rose to the task of caring for him in his final years, but he too would ultimately succumb to the effects of radiation and hard labor. Now orphaned, Vera's life grew more chaotic, shuffled between various orphanages as the world tried to rebuild. Bullied for her radiation tattoos and scars, her attempts to socialize were frequently shot down. The bullying grew worse and worse until ultimately culminating in a disastrous prank that the young woman was made to take the fall for. Vera would find a new home in prison with no further use for society. The young woman found herself in a Siberian work camp, a Darwinian environment where the weak couldn't hope to survive. Not without friends, and being alone defined her very existence. Yikes. Fortunately, Vera would stumble across a unit of imprisoned Russian naval special forces captured years prior for continuing to fight against the aliens years after the invasion had been lost. Luckier still, these men recognized her name and her father. Taken under their wing, Vera found protection, learned important skills, and many important lessons. Her story may have ended in prison, slaving away to fuel the growth of distant cities, if not for their shared determination. Not content to languish in a prison until they died, they dreamt of escape to die free. The group attempted a great number of escapes, and finally, they found success. Between the escape and the wasteland, only 3 of their numbers survived. Vera, the unit's commander, and a resilient private. Then winter came. Oh, Vera, I should say. The unit's commander and a resilient private are the 3. Then winter came. The private went first, lost and buried in a blizzard. Vera caught frostbite, ultimately costing most of her left arm. Oh, gee, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, okay. From that wintry hell, only Vera emerged. Her wide array of talents enabled her to be readily accepted into a resistance enclave and ultimately to XCOM. Akimova's medical and technical aptitudes, eidetic memory, and strong call to service are among her obvious strengths, but her indomitable will to survive is by far her greatest trait. Yeah, love it. Love it. Happy to have you, Aptitude. That is awesome. Next up, we have Sophia Dev Jerson. I love this look. This is very creative. Okay. Before the invasion, Sophia, was a passionate video game designer. Dev, got it. Working with a team based in Baltimore, Maryland. Firaxis is in Baltimore, Maryland. She began designing a strategy turn-based tactics game about aliens invading Earth. Awesome. I don't know if this is somebody actually from Firaxis or not. That'd be sick. Sophia poured her heart into the project, meticulously designing the game's mechanics to be as realistic as possible. She incorporated tactical maneuvers and strategic planning akin to real-life scenarios. The game allows players to command an elite international organization tasked with countering an alien invasion of Earth. Weird. As the release day approaches, anticipation builds up among fans and the development team alike. However, on the very day the game is to be released, the unthinkable happens. Real aliens invade Earth. The world was thrown into chaos, but Sophia and her team, familiar with the strategic intricacies of alien warfare thanks to their game, find themselves uniquely prepared. Using the knowledge gained from developing the game, Sophia quickly adapted to the real-life threat. She organized local resistance camps, employing the tactics and strategies from her game to fight Advent. Her efforts caught the eye of Xcom and was offered an invitation to join the fight. Note from Bradford. Sophia's transition from virtual to real warfare is seamless, and her understanding of Advent tactics makes her an invaluable asset. That's very cool. Love that. If you are one of the devs, all the power to you. If you're role-playing as one, great idea. And I think that is it for right now. Okay, so let's go back and we're gonna actually start passing some time by scanning for the supplies over here.
Avenger plotting new course.
Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything that we haven't really looked at yet that you guys might have questions about. Like up here, this gives us a nice little breakdown of the barracks. That's pretty helpful, obviously. The one thing you might not understand is this FL1. This is force level. This is a indicator of how or when enemy unit types will appear. So the longer the game goes, the higher the force level, and the force level dictates what type of enemies you see. So the higher that is, the scarier the enemies. Let's go. Okay, so we actually have an assault mission right off the bat. Protect the device. That's great. We didn't even get to our modular weapons, unfortunately. Probably because we put that scientist on that thing. Okay. So we have a mission here. Now, an assault mission in Covert Infiltration just works like a regular mission from XCOM. Some missions you have to infiltrate and you'll get different bonuses the more time that you spend infiltrating. But in this situation, all we have to do is do the assault, okay? And if you're ever curious, you can see the chain of missions up here. So sometimes a mission will be presented in chains. You'll do step 1 and it will show you what's gonna happen. But here it's literally just the assault. It's for intel. I mean, it's not amazing. It's a lot of intel, but it's not something I really need at this exact point in time. That being said, I'm not gonna not do it. Early on, we need to do as many of these missions as possible. We will not be able to accomplish all of them, but that's okay. So, who are we gonna take out here? We have 6 people that already have promotions, which is pretty sick. That being said, we should probably take out at least a rookie or 2. I'm thinking we bring out 2 rookies. Jan Melk Ku over here, and we'll bring out Faith Acrobat Lee. Those will be our 2 rooks. Next up, we've got Ghazi. Now, I've got Match a Gnome here as this kind of shadow build. What I like is that she has a med kit, so that could be kind of helpful. Is there anything we might want to... Yeah, we don't have any money is a problem. So these things can all be built pretty early, which is actually super nice because of the way that we set up the DLC. I'm not gonna lie, having a flashbang or something would be sick. We just don't have it, so that's it, that's all. We're not gonna worry about it. Do I want 2 vector rifles? I mean, maybe. We've got him with the multiple shots, I think is pretty nice. And then I think we want to bring somebody, at least one person, with grenade launcher. Rapunzel with the grenade launcher and the heavy armaments and the big cannon. I think that's pretty decent. What attachments do we have? Any? We don't have any. Okay. We don't have anything yet. So, if you're wondering why I'm confused, like, I recorded the mission yesterday and then I'm doing this part to the next day. So there might be a couple things that I was, like, misremembering. Let me think about this. I think we're gonna do something like bringing our assault out instead. So we have our Reaper here. We're gonna bring her out with the ballistic shield. And I think the rest of the stuff, this is all good. Keep the gremlin there. Yeah, okay. So now we're not done yet. Now we need to go and read Ku and Lee's, or I guess Melk and Acrobat's bios. Let's do that. Okay, Melk. Jan Melk Koo. Now this is a look. Is this something to do with cows? Milk? We'll find out. Short bio. From the Netherlands, December 22nd, 2002. Jan Koo was born in the east of the Netherlands to a family of farmers. While known for his excellent ability to blend in with the Dutch countryside, he caught Xcom's eye with his innovative Advent distraction methods. With milk cans and a few simple ingredients, Jan used the local tradition of carbide shooting to create incredibly loud explosions. When Xcom recruited Jan, he left his occupied hometown in a bold act of defiance, plowing his tractor through an Advent checkpoint. Known for his resourcefulness and determination, Jan is deeply motivated to reclaim his homeland. Well, we certainly won't miss you on the battlefield. We'll know exactly where you are at all times. And then Acrobat Lee here. This is a very neat look. I like this little like armband there. That's cool. You've got like the matching top and face mask as well. Cool glasses. Dig it. All right. So Faith Acrobat Lee is from China, born June 9th, 2015. John, you wanted my opinions of this candidate? Well, by God, you're gonna get them. Here we go. Faith Lee, aptly known as Acrobat, a title that was given by her comrades, ironically, is probably the single most antagonizing person I've ever had the displeasure of training. A full list of her negative qualities would have me here all afternoon, so I shall summarize. She's vain, contrarian, sarcastic, insincere, and arrogant. She shared little to no bond with the rest of her training cadre when in barracks, having been raised in luxury and comfort in an Advent megacity. She shared poorly, whether it be rations or equipment, to the point where I wonder if she's still mentally a spoiled daddy's girl with no concept of want. Do not let this facade fool you. Every single thing Faith did since coming under my instruction and subsequently leaving it has been... My bad. Where are we here? And subsequently leaving it has been to distance herself from everyone around her, or at least give the appearance of distance. I issued her a coat filled with holes and watched her patch it. 2 days later, that coat was in someone else's locker, and hers was again full of holes and in the process of being patched to waterproof. When questioned, she told me that she doesn't keep track of her things. She's demonstrated to me in the field that she is both well aware of her surroundings and unlikely to simply forget things, so I found this excuse lacking. Despite her combative social stance with the rest of her cadre, I could see that they respected her, even if they didn't like her. A direct report from her patrol commander on her first live operation stated that she deliberately drew fire from hostiles in order to allow a wounded soldier to be rescued. Once again, when questioned, she stated that she had only been moving from cover to cover as taught. I've seen the vid. She's lying. So yes, simply the most antagonizing person I've ever trained. She's a consummate soldier with a heart of gold and astounding amounts of competence. I love competence, by the way. It is the #1 character trait in any human. It is the best. The distressing thing is she spends most of her time and effort trying to hide that from everyone around her. Do with that what you will. Just don't forget that she is still young and might well do something stupid before she gains the wisdom not to. My opinions, plain and simple. Regards, JT. Don't bother giving her an expensive allowance. When I did that, she spent it on high fashion clothes off Advent's SparkleNet. No money sense whatsoever, almost caused a security breach. Well, you do look nice, so happy to have you here. Very, very cool. Guys, we are officially set up for our first mission. And with that, I think we will leave you. So thank you so much for watching. We're going to be heading out with Melk, Ghost, Sunset, Zimothy, Rapunzel, and Acrobat. We've got one grenade launcher here. We've got a Claymore for explosives. We do, of course, have grenades. Our rookies are 5 health, 4 health. Not bad. We have a lot of shooting possibilities with Zimothy here. And we've got some heavy damage output with Rapunzel. So I think we're in an okay spot. It's a moderately difficult mission to protect the device. Could cause some problems, but we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck, and we'll see you on the other side. Please stay for the credits. There's a meme at the end, of course. And if you guys could drop a like on this video, that would be great. Let me know, of the soldier bios that we've read so far, who is your current fan favorite? And if you've submitted a soldier, that's okay. You'll probably show up at some point. but still pick a fan favorite of the ones that we've read. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.